Hey now, what's up? Hey, what's up, peeps? Welcome to another episode of Direct Edition. Um, the channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition, and today we're going to be looking over some more comic books, okay? But before we do that, let's look at some turtles. He is what started it all. Raphael began my adult toy collecting. He's the first. When I saw him in Walmart, I started sweating. Automatically just said, hey, let's do this. You already collect comics, so why not collect these cool turtles? So let's get into some comic books, okay? Okay, now the first book I was able to pick up is the New X-Men 138. The thing about New X-Men that I like is it introduced Cassandra Nova, who is Professor X's supposedly evil twin sister who he killed in the womb. And Cassandra actually sent a sentinel to Genosha, and it killed the whole population of Genosha, or almost all of them. So I really love New X-Men. This is when they revamped the X-Men right after the first Bryan Singer X-Men film. And they put them in black costumes, which was pretty cool. Modernized them, shook things up a bit. And they introduced people like Kid Omega, or what's his name now? Yeah, it's still like Kid Omega. They introduced characters like Phantom X. Just a really, really good run. I think this is almost like in this run, this is the first appearance of Sublime, who's a huge X-Men villain. He's like this living organism that finds human hosts that hate mutants. It's weird. But anyway, yeah, happy to have this in my collection. I know a couple of videos back I said I wasn't going to collect Reign of Superman, but the hell with it. I think I'm going to collect everything on the death of Superman. I don't care. I've gotten to that point now where I've just got back into collecting Full Blast. So I guess I'll be picking up a lot of, dollar books and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty cool, iconic cover. I like it. I don't care if it's just $1 or whatever. But yeah. And why do we collect? We collect because we love it, not for the monetary values. So cool. And it's a newsstand. I had to put my Donatello back up here. Freaking love that Donatello. But anyway, this is Generation X and Gen 13 when they meet. I thought it'd be awesome if J. Scott Campbell actually did the cover, but I don't think he did it. But anyway, I'm a pretty big Generation X fan. I just haven't picked up a lot of their books in the dollar bin, and I know you guys are huge Generation 13 or Gen 13 fans, and I hear a lot of J. Scott Campbell being thrown around. So thanks for influencing me to pick this up. So I saw this Marvel Comics Presents, and I said, damn, this is the first appearance of Cyber, so I need to buy another one. Because, I'm a Cyber fan, huge Wolverine fan, and this is the only guy that actually kind of puts fear into Wolverine. So I said, damn, let me go ahead and pick up his first appearance again. Wah, wah, wah. I was wrong. This is his second appearance. So it's fine, Yeah, it didn't cost me. It didn't cost me too much, so it's fine. So you guys know I love Bronze Age, Silver Age. The the crustier it is, I love it. So I was able to find Dazzler number 2. Didn't find number 1, but number 2 is fine. I'll find number 1 later. But I was able to pick this one up, and as you can see, the bag is dusty and crusty, but the comic book in it is just fine. No spine ticks. Beautiful copy. Yeah, Dazzler number 2. So a couple of videos I said, a couple of videos back I said, Wolverine, Uncanny X-Men, X-Men, and Harley Quinn are the ones that I want to pick up, and just anything I see I want to pick up. Wonder Woman is another one. I'm going to add her to that list. I freaking really, really love Wonder Woman. And it goes all the way back to the 70s TV show with Linda Carter, who's half Mexican, by the way. But anyway, it goes all the way back to the 70s. I wasn't born in the 70s, but Wonder Woman was still on TV when I was growing up. It was Wonder Woman and the Incredible Hulk, Luke Ferrigno, Incredible Hulk, and was it Bill Bixby? I forget his name. Anyway, but yeah, so anything Wonder Woman I'm picking up. So I really like this cover. It shows the strength of her, and she has her costume that I really really like right now. Just really like Wonder Woman. So let's stare at it for a second. And okay. Now you hear me say a lot on my videos that I basically collect to fill in the holes and fill in the gaps of the ship that make up my comics. And this is one of them that's actually filling up the gap in the complete Messiah Complex run. Now, I don't think I actually have the trade paperback. I don't, but my friend does. So I borrow his all the time and I read it and I read it and I read it again. This is one of the hands down best X-Men stories I've ever read, besides the X-Force with the Wolverine team or Uncanny X-Force. But yeah, I picked this up too because it's our favorite artist, David Finch. Also picked up X Factor number 11. It's dusty and crusty and old, but the spine is beautiful. Uh, Cyclops in his classic uniform, and the guy behind him with that horn on his head, that is a Morlock. I remember when they brought him back into Crochet, and I was like, who is this guy with this freaking weird mohawk thing? But yeah. Well, all right now. This is my second copy of the Extinction Agenda Part 6, X Factor. In the background, you see Cable fighting with Cameron Hudge, and you see Jean Grey holding Wolverine. The reasons why she's holding Wolverine is because Wolverine's healing factor was suppressed in this story, and they actually put him in a cage with Archangel, and Archangel almost killed Wolverine. So as a kid growing up, I was so mad because Wolverine being my favorite hero, and he just gets shredded to piece by Archangel. I had a hard time with this book, but I was able to find a second copy. This is going to actually replace my messed up copy where my spine, is messed up and all those spine ticks. And this is actually a newsstand. Okay, let me kick it old school with you guys for a second. Now, newsstand, the reason why it has the barcode is because back in the day when they took comic books and they had them everywhere, you could just scan it quickly. Like if you was in Walmart or, in Publix or whatever you shop at as a kid, it was like bleep, 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 get it out the door. Now, direct edition was sold only to comic book shops. So back in the days, direct edition was more valuable than a newsstand. And it's funny to see collectors now. I've gotten into the culture where it's like, okay, I got a direct edition, now I need a newsstand copy. And it's pretty cool because back in the day I had a lot of newsstand comics, and people used to turn up their nose at newsstands and say, hey, it's less valuable than a direct edition copy. So it's pretty cool to see that newsstands are actually gaining popularity. So as you know from a couple of videos back, I'm a huge fan of Supergirl. So when I saw this and also to Michael Turner, I automatically had to pick it up. It was only $1. So that's actually Supergirl from Apocalypse on the front with Darkseid. Very cool. But not only was I able to pick up number 12, but I was able to get number 13 to go with it. Beautiful Michael Turner covers. Like I said, Michael Turner, I'm not like the hugest Michael Turner fan, but for some reason, like I just gravitate more towards his books. So I guess that would make me a huge fan, even though I don't want to admit it. I guess I'm being a butt about it. Hey, let me just admit, I am a Mike Turner fan. So let's look at these covers a little bit more. Yeah. Nice. Especially Supergirl. I really like that one. Get to the chopper. So I had this book back in the day, and me being a big Wolverine fan, I read it and read it and read it till the spine was just unbearable. So when I ran across it again, I picked it up. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and try to get doubles of every Wolverine book that I have, just for the hell of it. So this is pretty cool. The reason why I say get to the chopper, obviously, is because this is a cover swipe from Terminator. Pretty cool. And the funny thing about this book is Wolverine cut his hair at the beginning of the book. By the end of the book, his hair grew back because of his healing factor. So yeah. So this is another Wolverine book I picked up. I already, had this in my run. And the funny thing about this story is Wolverine owed Gambit some money from a card game. And so Wolverine was like, "Hey, I'm going over to, Japan." And Gambit was like, "Okay, not without, you paying me my money." And so Gambit followed Wolverine and Jubilee all the way over to Japan. So you have a modern take on Sunfire in the back fighting Gambit. And that character name is Scylla. I don't know, it's a weird name. But she was supposed to be like this huge Wolverine villain, but she actually didn't work out. So I guess they stuck with Lady Deathstrike. And here's another Wolverine that's drawn by this artist named like Tex. His artwork is very gritty, weird. It reminds me a lot of Jay Lee, Jay Lee's artwork. But anyway, so I think this book kind of touches on the X-Men series when Wolverine, Sabretooth, and Silver Fox and Maverick went into that warehouse with Beast, and they fought that what his name was, Shiva or Shiva. So yeah, but newsstand, pretty cool. Well, all right now. This is the Uncanny X-Men. This book actually leads up to the Age of Apocalypse. This is Legion's Quest Part 3 of 4. What happened is Professor X's son went to kill Magneto in the past, and he actually ended up killing his father, and that ushered into the Age of Apocalypse. Apocalypse. Very cool. And so, in keeping up with my promise to collect any of the Uncanny X-Men that I can find, of course, if I find like an older one, I'm going to jump all over it. And this is one of the older ones. This is Uncanny X-Men 260. And this guy is actually a stalker of Dazzler, which you see Dazzler in the background. So as I was picking up this book, I saw 263 right in the back of it. My comic book just moved. I think it's a ghost in my house. But anyway, so I was able to pick up 263, and this has Forge on the front cover. Pretty cool. And the Dazzler one, that's that pink one, that actually is drawn by Jim Lee. So it's one of Jim Lee's early X-Men drawings. So I was able to pick up this Uncanny X-Men. This is 473. This book is actually in line with the storyline that I love. One of my favorite Uncanny X-Men covers actually comes from this storyline. This is basically when the Shi'ar Empire sent like a death squad to Rachel's family reunion. And the death squad actually killed her whole side of the family. Like they executed everybody. And the reason why they did that is because the Phoenix became an enemy of the Shi'ar Empire. And so they waited a couple years and then they got their revenge. And like I said, they took out their revenge on her family. And one of my favorite covers comes from this run. So let me let you take a look at the cover that I'm talking about, where they actually took Rachel, and branded her back with the Phoenix symbol. That was Uncanny X-Men 475, and this is 471. This is one of my favorite artists. This is Billy Tan. Billy Tan has an art style that kind of sometimes reminds me of like No, I'm not gonna say he reminds me of David Finch, but he's a real good artist. Check out Psylocke kicking that girl in the face in the back. That's just so cool. And who they're fighting is the Shi'ar Death Squad. That the Shi'ar sent to eradicate Rachel's family. So this is another Uncanny X-Men book that I was able to pick up. It's a pretty cool cover. It has Cyclops on the front. I really, really like it. Uncanny X-Men 391. Yeah. I think I saw it somewhere like in some kind of like magazine or some kind of comic book advertisement. So that's the reason why, I picked this one up. Not only did I pick it up because of that, but we're filling in the holes and filling in the gaps. So we're getting to the point of video where you ask me, hey, Fred Hall, Direct Edition, what are you reading right now? And this is Son of the Hulk, Dark Sun Rising. What was cool was everybody thought that Scar was the Hulk's only son. But in this book, you end up finding out that he has a son named Hiro Kala. And Hiro Kala is actually Scar's twin brother, it blew my freaking mind away. So when I actually read this book, a friend of mine who I know, y'all know him by the name of Wendell, we were reading the same books at the same time. And I was like, hey, dude, you have no idea, but I got a big surprise for you. So I bought him this book, and when he read it, he called me and he was like, get out of town. I did not know that the Hulk had, twin sons, which is pretty cool. And in this book, Hiro Kala actually battles Galactus, and he actually beats Galactus, which is sick. So let's look at the back. And here we go. Yep, that's him on the back fighting Galactus. And it looks like Galactus is kind of like, handling him. But nah, Galactus didn't stand a chance against Hiro Kala. That should let you know how strong he is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, this is Doom 2099, number 1. I picked this up strictly for the fat kid in me, or the chubby kid that I used to be. I still remember like yesterday picking this up straight off the spinner in the store, newsstand. So I still have that one in the collection. I had to have a mint copy for the collection. So yeah, man. Doom 2099, X-Men 2099, Spider-Man 2099. Let's keep going. Ravage 2099. Who else was 2099? You had the Hulk 2099. It's pretty cool. Yep, Doom 2099. And so for our main event, we have Deadpool and Cable. It used to be Cable and Deadpool, but I had to pick this up. I know it's number 2 or whatever. I could have gotten number 1, but man, just look at this cover. Wow. When you actually cover swipe from Back to the Future, I mean, wow. So I picked this up strictly because of that. I don't care about, what it costs and, how much it goes for on eBay. This one I just picked up just because of the cover swipe. Like I thought it was just so cool. And just just to take a serious character like Cable and have him like Doc just tripped me out a lot. I really like this. So yeah, that's one of your main events. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes, the main event. So a lot of people are collecting Deadpool Back in Black, and this is where it all started from. Back in Black is a comic series where somebody did something to Aunt May, and they hurt Aunt May really bad. And Spider-Man went absolutely nuts to the point where he was willing to kill. And that is not in Peter Parker's forte, as you would say. So yeah, this is oh man, I was so happy to pick this one up. And not only was I able to pick this one up, I was able to pick up a couple of them. So let's look at them. So that's Amazing Spider-Man 539. I was able to also pick up 540. That's Peter Parker or Spider-Man basically on Aunt May's ambulance. Number 541, The Sensational Spider-Man number 35. And lastly, The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 17. You can hear my chair creaking. Sorry about that. But yeah, pretty nice and cool, iconic run. This is not all of them. I was a little saddened when I got home, and I was a little upset when I came home and looked at my, looked up the trade paperback, because it's a lot of books that actually go into this run. But still happy to start at least this run, Back in Black, because I've read up on it, and I've heard, how Spider-Man actually went ham. And then now you have Deadpool Back in Black, which I'm going to show you in a couple minutes side by side. But yeah, man, pretty cool, iconic run. Deadpool Back in Black that I was talking about. It's pretty cool. Deadpool is so damn silly. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. Like and subscribe for more cool videos. And to everybody out there, be safe, because life is short. And I will catch you guys later. Peace!